Morgan Gibbs-White. Morgan Gibbs-White. Nottingham Forest, Tottenham, the entire saga. We need to talk about it. We had a here we go for this signing nearly 10 days ago now. Really, really good opportunity for Spurs to bring in a player of experience, a leader. We got the here we go. Tottenham triggered the release clause, the £60 million, and then Nottingham Forest have gone into meltdown. It's alleged that Tottenham gained inside information to find out there was a release clause for Morgan Gibbs-White, and Tottenham triggered it. Nottingham Forest are very, very angry at the situation and are now taking Tottenham to court based on they believe Tottenham gained inside information about a release clause that wasn't public news, it wasn't common knowledge, and now the transfer is off. Yeah, let's talk about this. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts. It would be greatly appreciated. Some videos are hitting well over 1,000 likes. And we are under 400 subscribers away now from 67,000. So if you haven't already, please let me know your thoughts. I'm not going to lie. This situation has frustrated me a lot. It really has frustrated me. You're talking about a team who the whole Morgan Gibbs-White thing now is apparently off. Nottingham Forest don't want to deal with Tottenham. And it's all a bit, argy-bargy sort of stuff. At the end of the day, Morgan Gibbs-White allegedly has handed in a transfer request. He wants to leave Nottingham Forest. Tottenham's focus remains on closing on the deal, getting the deal done. We've flown out for our pre-season tour very, very soon. We've got Luton at the weekend. Then we play Newcastle and Arsenal in Asia. Romano said, Justin, the focus at Tottenham remains on closing the deal for Morgan Gibbs-White with Nottingham Forest. The only really clubs pushing a deal done for Zabarini is PSG. With Spurs, nothing concrete. We'll come to Zabarini in a second because I only think that is realistic if Christian Romero was to leave the football club. Now, Rob Dorset said, Justin, and this is what kind of set everyone off. Nottingham Forest bosses have shut down lines of communication with Tottenham over Morgan Gibbs-White issue. Now, it's not a secret that football agents leak information quite a lot of the time to maximize their deal for their client, which is their football player. And it's not uncommon for footballers to force moves, hand transfer requests in. How Tottenham have gained this information is yet to be seen. And at the moment, all of this is alleged. But Nottingham Forest seem to be very, very, very salty about this move with Tottenham. Now, let's not beat around the bush here. Tottenham do have a good relationship with Nottingham Forest. We gave them £50 million for one of their star players in Brennan Johnson. We're trying to give them more money for one of their star players around Morgan Gibbs-White. And they want to take us to court because they don't necessarily know how Tottenham have gained that information. That problem should not necessarily, in my opinion, be with Tottenham. It should be with the agent. If the agent is feeding information regarding a release clause, that's where the problem should be. And of course, there's that scenario where if someone steals something and then you are in possession of stolen goods, you're both guilty of committing a crime. Now, the situation with Morgan Gibbs-White is at the moment, all of this is alleged and none of this is, innocent until proven guilty and all that sort of stuff. But it just seems to be that this situation is going to drag out and drag out and drag out and drag out and drag out. Now, I personally think at this moment in time, I don't necessarily think this deal will happen. On July the 10th, 12 days ago, so it'll be 2 weeks ago Thursday, we got the here we go. Breaking Morgan Gibbs-White to Tottenham. Here we go. Spurs trigger 60 million release clause after direct contact with Forest today. Medical booked and set to take place 24 hours time, as Mike McGarth reported. Follows Kudus. the first time Tottenham have shown real ambition. We get two big here we goes. Everyone's on the same page. Everyone's backing the manager. Everyone's singing from the same hymn sheet. The club, the fans, supporters all around the world are all on board with Gibbs-White and Mohamed Kudus. But because it's Tottenham, nothing is ever straightforward, is it? Nothing is ever straightforward. Now, I personally believe right now that, according to reports, I believe some of these reports that Nottingham Forest are offering Morgan Gibbs-White out to many football clubs. It looks like right now they're still in conversation with Newcastle. It looks like they're still in conversation with Manchester City to essentially offload him for essentially the same release clause, which is now public knowledge. So he potentially could be a Newcastle United or Manchester City player. The focus at Tottenham remains closing on the deal with Morgan Gibbs-White. I don't think this deal will happen. I just don't see it. I don't think Tottenham will want to deal with Nottingham Forest after how they've acted on this situation. And I don't think Forest will want to deal with Tottenham looking at how we have gained the information regarding Morgan Gibbs-White. It all seems to be very court-based right now, and very it's obviously gone to legal proceedings of the deal. And I'll be honest, I think Tottenham will look at other targets. We have got a strong, we're big admirers of Eberechi Eze. Everyone knows that Tottenham and are part of the same agency. A lot of our players part of the same agency as Eberechi Eze, but Arsenal are further down the line on talks with that situation. So I'll be honest, I just don't think as of right now that, I don't think as of right now this is a realistic option. Unless Nottingham Forest agree to deal business with Tottenham, I think he could end up at another football club, which is a real shame because Tottenham have been, apparently long-term admirers of Morgan Gibbs-White. Fabrizio Romano said on the 12th of July that details on Morgan Gibbs-White's delayed transfer to Tottenham have been revealed after Nottingham Forest midfielder reportedly couldn't leave the club's training facilities due to owner Marinakis literally blocking the move. Marinakis, I believe it's pronounced. Sorry, not Marinakis. I mean, it's just very much, and now Morgan Gibbs-White to Manchester City. We're seeing this all over the timelines where fans are posting up clips saying, "Welcome to City." They were the first team that went in. They allegedly offered more than the release clause. But apparently we went in and offered the right significant amount due to Tottenham allegedly gaining inside information on the deal. It's very strange situation. I've never seen a team trigger a release clause, but essentially gain the information allegedly by I don't know. And then you got big Manchester City to ITK accounts, big Man City Twitter accounts essentially saying, Morgan Gibbs-White to City is back on. So I'll be honest. If we don't sign Gibbs-White, I think we are in trouble in terms of Eze will probably join Arsenal over us. Is there another playmaker in the Premier League that's available and would join Tottenham? Bruno Guimaraes isn't leaving Newcastle. Yuri Tillemans probably isn't going to leave Aston Villa. Who else is there? You're scratching your head. We'll have to look abroad at alternative targets. But we're in trouble with this whole Gibbs-White thing, allegedly. So we'll have to just wait and see what happens with regards to that. And I'll be brutally honest. I genuinely think that Tottenham won't get this deal over the line. It looks like it's going to fall apart. It looks like, it looks like for whatever reason, Nottingham Forest now don't want to deal with with Nottingham Forest. But it is what it is, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Do you think Morgan Gibbs-White will be a City player? Do you think he'll be a Tottenham player? And let me know your thoughts. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you drop a like, hit the subscribe on the way out, and I will see you next time. I am out.